What's up, guys? I haven't done a Spartan builder in a minute, and I was looking around at what options I had to give some variety for the event tonight, and I thought, you know what, let's do something in an antique bronze cerakoted case. And what always goes well with antique bronze cerakote is brass, and obviously black. So what we did, I happen to have a completely lasered brass style that we had backside loomed. So threw that on the movement, did a set of black hands, did the antique bronze cerakoted case with crown and matching caseback. And the only other options you have with bezel outside of black that would go would be gold. And I thought gold was too... Gold works a little bit better with a black case. So it just depends on what you have to kind of go with it and kind of pull into each other. So did a resin-filled black with gilded accent, minute style. This is an aggressive shark tooth. I happen to have a couple of those. So, and then, lug extensions on here. So I always like the look of how this kind of comes out from under it. So lug extensions, they're on quick disconnects. You can always connect right here, but it does make for nice movement, such as watch roll, things of that sort. Whereas the other, if you put them in there, they kind of are going to stay a little stagnant. You're going to have to kind of pull a little bit to, get them to stretch out so that you can then manipulate them, because they'll end up kind of rubbing against the case a little bit when they're stuck up in there directly. These are obviously cerakoted to match as well. And then this is on a custom 2-piece Italian leather strap that Constantine made for me probably 4 years ago. And whether you guys know this about me or not, I have lots and lots of watches, but I don't wear other watches. I only wear my own. So I had this on... what watch did I have this on? Man, I had this on something. Was that? It'll come back to me. So I had, I don't really sell my my watches that I won from before, but there's one of them I just never ever wore, and it was worth a couple grand, and I had this strap on it, and I'd never worn it before. So when I sold it, I pulled this strap off and I set it off to the side, because I like this strap so much, and then it happened to just be the perfect one for this watch. I'd sat it there, so I've had this strap for probably 4 years now, and it was originally designed for a watch that I owned, and then when I sold that watch, I pulled it from this and then put the original back on it, but I never actually got to wear this one. So yeah, a little bit of memory lane there, but trying to remember what I had it on and sold. It's going to drive me nuts. But anyway, painted edges on this one. Yeah, the only thing it's done is sat, in a nice little rounded thing on a pillow in a watch cabinet. So, but that's the build. I grabbed a seconds hand that kind of looked spear-esque, and then the hands, I grabbed the ones that were kind of looked as though they were, they're not swords, but something more that kind of style. Anyway, bezel on this will turn left, it'll turn right. It is a tension ring bezel. It is not a click style bezel. Automatic mechanical, you saw that I just backed the crown off the threads and started winding. And a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you doesn't wind it. But I always get back and forth, because if I start to accidentally thread it back on, I can back it right back off in the same going back and forth, and then put a little bit of tension to it to make sure I'm off that. But that's how you wind it. So you've got a rotor in the back, and as you're moving, it is going back and forth, and it's putting wind to your watch. But before you put your watch on, you're going to want to wind it just a little bit to make sure you do not lose any kind of time. So otherwise, if you just set the time and then put it on, if you're not very active, your watch will stop at different times because it's not getting any input. So anyway, 4 or 5 seconds of that will basically cover you. But if you're going to be driving or at a desk all day, you want to go ahead and do it for a little bit longer to make sure that you do not have any time losses. If you are moving around and normal and active, you'll be just fine. But it's got a slipping mainspring in there, so once it has as much input as it needs, it will not put any more input on that, so you don't have to worry about that. You cannot overwind it. And when you're happy with your winding, you're going to pull it to the 1 and only click, and you can now set your time. Now, it does not have a hacking movement, so it will keep going. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown. This deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement, so when you're pushing and prying on it, you're not putting any adverse pressures on anything. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 10:57 a.m.
10:57 a.m. When you're good, you're going to push it over, get it out of that time setting, and then wind it down. Oh, I mentioned it was backside lumed. So we will supercharge it with the UV light. We've got overcast and snow right now. So good times. So there is the look. As with every build, you're going to get matching beads. This is going to come in a BBW Special Edition box. It's going to come with watch cleaner. This is a foamer. It's good on all glass and metal. It's everything here in the center, as well as a microfiber. It's going to come with leather conditioner to make sure that strap stays perfectly soft forever, ever. If you ever feel that it's not, apply it. It's the same material either side, so it won't really matter. I guess you'd apply it on the back. You could apply it on both sides. It won't really matter. Use a rag, though. Don't use one of your microfibers when you do that. And then also you're going to get some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like a poly watch. It's for your acrylic glass because you can't scratch it. But if you do, put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out using this color matching microfiber. If it scratches up and down, just go left and right, filling the scratch, haze it, then buff it out. Should be gone. If it's not, wait a little bit and then revisit it. And then if you scratch the cerakote, that's a lot different. It is applied and then baked on. If you scratch it and you get down into the metal under it, it's just like your car. You have to have it redone. If it's just light and you can kind of tell it's there, use some gun oil. And a lot of times that will kind of fill, a clear coat kind of situation where it kind of masks it a little bit. But that's the build. If it is going to you, congrats. I hope you love it. I think it came out pretty awesome. And I will think it was a Tudor. It was a Tudor. I had it on a Tudor that I'd won. Did I buy it? No, I won it. And since it was so nice, I never wore it. And it was I got it back before I was building watches. But I was like, yep, nope. And I did this to have it look nice together. And I ended up selling it. And when I sold it, I pulled that strap back off of it. So it sat off to the side, and I thought, well, one day I'll put it on something else of mine. And I was like, wait a second, I've never actually worn this. So it's brand new. It's just been brand new and sitting in storage attached to a watch for a while. So congrats to the next guy. I hope you like it. I custom designed this. I say 4 years. It could have been 6. But old Constantine made this for me. So, and now it's going to you. So if you want me to build you something custom, unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. If you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.